Ladies and gentlemen, how the heck are we doing today? Welcome back to another stream, another Pokemon Emerald Legacy stream. Today we're going to be talking about something a little bit more big picture. We've been looking at the minute details, which makes up most of the game. You know, things like learn sets, things like moves, things like very specific small pieces that are really important, but they're not so fun. They're not like the big, attractive, shiny things that you look at this ROM hack and go, whoa, they gave 5 more accuracy to Rock Slide. So what I wanted to do today is give myself a break from some of that stuff and also give you guys more of a dive into something that's probably actually, well, it's all fun, but especially fun. It's shiny, which is actually doing a bit of team building today. And we're going to be looking at the evil teams. Something that I have been needing to tackle, and I thought it would be fun to do together, is if we went through both Team Aqua and Team Magma. And basically, we're going to start by sort of making a list, which is going to act as a pool of Pokemon that we're going to allow both sides to use. I think this is the most logical way to go about this is sort of work backward, front to backwards, if that makes sense. Rather than just going through the game and being like, we'll give this grunt a Carvana and this and that. We're going to make a pool. Also do that for Maxi. Also do that for the admins. Archie, Maxi, admins, whatever. Both teams go through and kind of establish what we want these two teams to look like. And then we can plug it into the game. So that's kind of the goal for today. I wanted to start off by just, while we get in here, running just through the atrocity that are Team Aqua and Magma in Pokemon Emerald, not even Ruby and Sapphire. I had a whole round to fix this, and they didn't. We've got Archie, who is sort of the penultimate fight of... You could almost think of them as one giant group of trainers. Archie is like the penultimate fight. Does that mean the final one? Archie is the final fight of this arc of the whole evil team storyline. And his team is pretty bad. Check this Mightyena. Like, we've got Swagger and Scary Face combined with Roar, which swaps you out so that all those low status moves that you've just applied to your opponent are now gone. And Takedown. Doesn't even have a dark move. We've got a Crobat, which is actually a very good Pokemon, but Wing Attack and Air Cutter is like, these moves are 5 damage apart. And then we've got Sharpedo, which is, you know, I suppose if you want to really think about this, this is the leader of the free world. And by free world, I mean the wet world. This is the leader of the group of people that only care about water. And he doesn't actually have a water move. In fact, his entire team doesn't have a water move. The same as in, in Sapphire. So Archie's pretty bad. Doesn't feel very Aqua to me. And we're going to do some work to fix that.
Replay gang. Have you considered maybe receiving a lucky egg from the old couple at the hot springs in addition to the normal egg? It'd be hilarious if they were trying to hatch a lucky egg.
That's actually a really funny idea. I do actually, just in terms of humor, I like that a lot. So I feel like we should probably consider that. Although the thing with the lucky egg is it's kind of OP. So it might be too early to put it in, but perhaps as like a post-game thing, that could be kind of fun. So thank you to Jonathan for the first dono of the stream. Now, very quickly, let's also take a peek at Maxi, who Emerald was so gracious to give not just 1, not just 2, but actually 3 fights. And we've got another dono from Arturo.
In one of your older streams you talked about your thoughts on making a legacy-style ROM for, I think it was FE7.
Yeah, I've talked about that.
I've never played any of those older FE games, but I'd definitely try it out if you and or the team gave
yeah.
it a crack.
I think that's definitely something that we might think about down the road. So, something to look out for. But for today, guys, I just want to, say as well, we'll probably just keep the focus of this stream on Team Aqua and Team Magma stuff. So we've got a lot of more streams coming down the pipeline, but I really want to zone in on this one. So huge shout out to Arturo. Thank you very much. And yeah, FE7 is probably something I might just make as like a little side hack because I am in love with that game and I would like to fix it. Anyway, with that said, the first maxi battle is in Mount Chimney. And it's hilarious because, like, this team is so Archie-coded. Like, Mightyena, Crobat, Sharpedo, Mightyena, Zubat, Camerupt. Like, exact same 2 Pokemon and your regional mascot for your team. Second fight, okay, we'll give him a Crobat. It's the exact same. Like, I just understand how you could be so lazy. Team Magma, similarly to Team Aqua, has no fire moves. I don't know why they didn't think that was important for Magma. Magma is Earth, but very importantly, it is hot Earth, which I don't know. Perhaps Eruption might have been a smart idea here. And then in the final fight, once again, there's 2 camera-ups and nothing. I actually genuinely believe that this is the laziest team building we've seen in the entire history of Pokemon. It's worse than Gen 2, and that is often touted as the worst in the history of Pokemon. So there's a lot of work to do here just in that. Because basically, guys, what you're looking at is the entirety of the Team Aqua lineup. And when we look at Archie's team, you're looking at the entirety of the Team Aqua lineup. And this is the Team Magma lineup. You've got Poochyenas and Mightyenas, you've got Crobats and Zubats and Golbats, and you've got Carvanas and Sharpedos, and 1 Wailmer throughout the entire game. Yeah, and so kind of like what Proxy just said, is one thing you could do is to improve their teams is identifying menacing Pokemon that can fit in. And that's really what I want to do today. Also, congratulations, Proxy, on your Master Ball. That's 6 months as a member. We love to see that. So, Proxy is also throwing in the very first idea, which, menacing Pokemon, of course. We're looking for menacing Pokemon for both of these teams. Not just, Happy Fairy Pokemon, but they've got to have a bit of a oomph, right, to be on an evil team. And if we'll start the list, okay? We'll start the list. Because clearly Gyarados is gonna want to be on the list. I think we can all probably agree with that. The one thing I will say about Gyarados is very overrepresented in the last 2 generations. So it's a really good fit, but I think with Gyarados we have to consider that it's going to be occasional throw-ins. And not all the time. Another great suggestion is how's my sound, by the way? If the donation sound is too loud, just let me know. But I think Tentacruel. It's crazy to me that Tentacruel didn't make this roster, considering that it's also a poison type. Water, like I think that is like the most obvious of really anything. I think Crawdons. Like, you've got... like, if we just want to look at water types, right? Or actually, let's look at dark types, okay? There's Mightyena. Cool. Shiftry, obviously not for Team Aqua. You've got Sableye, meh. You've got Sharpedo, right? And it's like... yeah, obviously you're going to add the water dark type, which only features once on Archie's team. But there's another water dark type that's in this game called Crawdons. And well, I don't know if Corphish really fits the vibe. I feel like we should leave this little poor guy out of it. Probably, we can think about it. I think Crawdont is without a doubt deserving of going on this team. Another pick I'm seeing someone saying is actually Huntail. Huntail's got a very menacing vibe as well. I do wonder, like, Huntail is to me, it learns Crunch. It's like very clearly it could fit nicely on these teams. I also wonder about Gorbis. I think that if you actually look at the Pokedex entries for Gorbis, although it's picture of elegance and beauty, it's also cruel. When it spots its prey, it inserts its thin mouth into the prey's body and drains the prey of its body fluids. I mean, that's actually not that cruel. I would argue that that's just kind of like nature. But it does say that it's cruel. With its mouth, like, I don't know. There's some things here. There's not a ton of like truly cruel. But I feel like, you know, in its original, like they are like, this thing is not friendly. So I actually could see giving Huntail to Matt, who is the Aqua male executive, and then maybe giving Shelly Gorbis. So I wanted to note that, and we're gonna get to super chats and everything periodically. I do a bad thing where I get a super chat and then I totally derail what I'm saying. So I just want to finish thoughts before that. So Gorbis, admin, yeah, Tentacruel, admin Shelly, and I think Huntail maybe. Is there another male admin on Team Aqua? I'm not really sure. So let's get to a super chat we've got from Shad Hurdle, who says, will you implement Elite Four rematches? Would love to see Drake with a level 65 to 75 Salamence and maybe Dragonite on his rematch team. Yeah, so one of the weird things about Emerald is they actually didn't add Elite Four rematches. The gym leaders got them. They're all very bad outside of like the very final version of their fight. But the E4 didn't get anything. And we've got very big plans for the E4 rematch. We're thinking about actually tying it into storyline, and maybe showing off the Wallace ascension to champion. So with that, if we were to follow that lead, it would almost be assumed that you have to throw in rematches. So yeah, we'll do that, and it will probably include the whole of it will include the national deck. So you could throw a Pokemon like Dragonite in there, and I feel like that would be a no-brainer. So yeah, thanks a lot for the donation, Shad. Really appreciate that. It's always just like super supportive for the channel. So thank you, and let's see some love on our boy Shad. We've also got Very Softwares, who says finally able to catch a stream live. Good luck. Thank you. Yeah, we're gonna try to cook today, everybody. We're gonna try to cook. So see someone Denver saying Whiscash, and I do struggle with that Pokemon simply because it's a ground type, which is sort of Magma's vibe. So while it's not a hard no, I do think that I want to be more of a back pocket if all other fails. I see someone saying Feraligatr, which I think is a really cool idea. But again, probably a bit of a back pocket. It would be really cool to see a Feraligatr. But again, like honestly, Feraligatr and Typhlosion would fit so well for both of those teams. But I think that's, again, not a forefront decision. Now, Open World Audio's got it. But while we're here, we're already looking at it. We may as well. Seviper and Zangoose are known as being mortal enemies. Seviper only appears in Sapphire, while Zangoose only appears in Emerald. What do we think about these? They're pure rivalry, and I think that alone adds a bit of a interesting sort of dynamic to the teams. So Seviper, I think because Seviper is the the Sapphire guy, we should probably make Seviper have... Yeah, and someone says, Snake Swims. I'm just thinking about that. Yeah, that makes more sense too. Like Zangoose is more of a land animal. A Seviper is also definitely a land animal, but it does fit Aqua's vibe a little bit more. So let's make a non-water types. So Seviper. And I guess we can do one for Team Magma too. Team Magma. So I think obviously let's just say camera up is probably an obvious non ground fire types. Magma's kind of ground fire because Aqua, there just has so many Pokemon that you can kind of think of fire and ground combining to like have the same amount of Pokemon as there are water types. So it kind of works out like that nicely. So Zangoose for Team Magma. Yes, Green Bulb Productions, Meg Cargo. I think that is... Well, I guess actually we know Camerupt because that's kind of Maxie's ace. Fire, ground. I guess rock too can kind of get thrown in there. Camerupt, yeah, Meg Cargo I think is definitely going to make the list. That poor guy has just got no love. Flygon. I actually wonder if Flygon is a little too overplayed. I think we should actually make a third section. That's let's do non. Oops. Let's do non. I'm just trying to non-final evolution. Like I could actually see maybe Trapinch, Vibrava. I feel like Flygon. I don't know if I love Trapinch or Vibrava as ground types. I don't know if I like Flygon as it, and I'm uncertain on Trapinch Vibrava.
Maybe the Aggron line would fit for Maxie, since Magma has incredible pressure which can cause steel. It's also menacing looking.
Yeah, see, I guess that would go in the Fire Rock Ground type. But I feel like Aggron, like that to me is like, yes, like. Come on, look at this lad. So you give Lairons and Aerons to some of the subordinates, and then Aggron as maybe just Maxie. I think that could maybe be Maxie only. But bro, giving him Aggron seems like too OP. Not really. Aggron is not that hard to fight against, and yeah. Rare metals are also very common in volcanoes. I think generally I'm fine with two Pokemon being like iconic to two trainers. Like Camerupt is very Flannery and Maxie, and I don't think that's too hard on the game. Mightyena is all over the place. There's like that's kind of an example where it's too much, I would argue, but I do think Aggron actually fits. Rhydon, I guess that would go in here as well.
Can we keep the coughing Magma and Grimer Aqua for them from the remake?
Yes. Okay. Actually, we're gonna continue to split this. So fire types, ground rock types, non-final stage evolutions, and and just I guess other. So let's get to some more super chats here. So, Jiraqua, just thank you for the subscription. Appreciate that. Daniel O says. Oh, what are you doing with the Battle Frontier and or post game? I think that's my favorite part of Emerald ROM hack, but I also know that's huge to implement. I feel like really the Frontier is just gonna get a big facelift. If you've played the Crystal Legacy Battle Tower, I would say think that probably not quite as hard, but probably one section that is that hard. I wasn't really responsible for that at all. That was really led by some of the other playtesters, and they did a really good job with that. They're really got some really good team crafters on the team, so they'll probably cover that and make it super hard. And post game will also have like all the non-available areas, like this is I don't want to say Sevi Islands, but like Faraway Island and all that, and some rematches. So there's going to be a lot more in the post game than you're familiar with. Darkstar says maybe the Aggron line would fit for Maxie. Oh, I just read that. Yes, right. Dusk says, I think Aqua should use Cradily and Magma should use Armaldo. Feel that thematically they fit their respective themes of Aqua and Magma and also give them type coverage. See, one thing I will say is we're probably going to put those pre-evolutions on Roxanne, the first rock gym leader. And why I want to do that is we're thinking about bringing Steven back for the first round of the Elite Four. And I really like the full circle of the very first major
Sorry, I missed
fight.
Encounter stream. Was there a suggestion
sorry,
for Barboach near Moville with the old robot?
I'll get to that in a sec. But Steven is basically the final, you know what I mean? So it's like this full circle where you get the fossils in the very first fight and then their final stage because they're so iconic to Steven. So I think it would work, but kind of in what people were saying about Aggron, it might be a little too much for these lines to get two more of Steven's Pokemon. So I think it would probably be smart to call it there. Someone did mention Claydol, and I did want to write that one down as well. So thank you for the donation, Dusk. Justin says, "Cause we keep coughing," and Grimer from the remake. Yeah, that's something I think the remakes did really well, and I would like to implement that. So for other, coughing works so perfect with Magma because it works so well because volcanoes it kind of emit noxious fumes, so it kind of fits. Whereas with a Pokemon like Muck, it's kind of liquid, you know. So I feel like that kind of fits together a little bit. Kind of fits together a little bit nicely. Now we've got a donation from Arbok, and I'll just let it read out. Because that's why we love text-to-speech.
May I suggest, make Team Aqua and Magma B&T and Pro-Civilization, instead of being a Pokemon versus humans thing. I think it'd be a minor change that could surely keep the...
Yeah, it's something I haven't really dove into yet, is the storyline stuff of it. I don't want to change them too much, but I also think that some of their storyline bits are really so bad that it's would you really miss these features? So yeah, I'm not too worried about I'm not too worried about making these storylines worse. So yeah, definitely going to play around with that, but I think we just haven't hit it yet. So thank you 427. And Ruda says, sorry I missed the Encounter stream. Was there a suggestion for Barboach near Marvel? It might be too overpowered. It might outshine a lot of water types if we add it so early. So we're going to monitor that, but it is something that we're thinking about. And lastly, we've got Shadow Dragon who says post-game final battle teams for Aqua and Magma. Probably. I think that's something you could probably expect. Because that would be cool. Yeah. Oh, one more. Horatio says Archie, Pelipper, Gyarados, Electabuzz, Machamp, Sharpedo. Probably some of those Pokemon at least. I don't know about Machamp, but at the same time, I don't know who else would use Machamp, and Machamp would fit. I feel like Machamp could be a pretty good replacement for, Mighty N. I could probably maybe be on either team. None of this is for sure, but we'll just throw it on both just in case as ideas. So we've got Zangoose, Weezing, Machamp. We'll do oh wait, I see. Seviper. Non-final stage Evos is what we want to bring over here. So yeah, let's get back to what we're working on here. So we could also just kind of go through the Pokedex, and we'll probably find some really good, nice answers. So Ludicolo is something that some of the playtesters have been suggesting. Ludicolo and Shiftry. I won't lie, they're not my favorite picks. Magma could go the route of grass, but I don't really love it. To me, they're much more, I think of them as a volcano. Less so than Earth that has become bountiful and stuff. I do agree that they need something to counter Swampert, but that's very doable. Ludicolo is sick, but very friendly. The fact that it's a grass type is fine because grass grows in the water, but plants grow in the water. But I don't know if I love these lines being with them. I could maybe see like people are saying Cacturn. Seeking. I think. Harry Album but Champ could be a cool. It might be overextending. In the manga, Shelley's Aces Ludicolo. Yeah, I think it's fun to draw from the manga, but I also think that sometimes people overindulge in, well, it was in the manga, so it should be in the game, and it's not always for the best, because it's a gameplay experience versus a story. So, yeah. So Seeking, I think, kind of just sucks. And I can't see like a Team Aqua member being like, yo, check out this goldfish. So I'm going to say probably no. Azumarill, probably not. Like, it becomes fairy. Aqua Rabbit, probably not either. Golem, I definitely think we should consider for Magma. Very Rhydon-esque. Did I just say? Did I really just type Magma? Golem. I like Golem. I mean, Crobat probably should stay. As one of my playtesters was saying today, like, it's not like they hate Pokemon. So I think it's fine to see some Crobats. Tentacruel, that's an obvious one. I could see a Sableye of a Wild Thing, but I think that would be going a little too far. Again, that's like a second round draft. Machamp, I think possibly. Manectric would probably be a little weird. There was an Electrode was the electric type we were maybe considering. Yeah. Electrode is like kind of a exploding cannonball, and we were thinking like, well, they're pirates, so maybe Electrode would work. I'm gonna put it on the list. One of the things is like we're talking volcanoes versus storms is kind of what the equivalent for is kind of that comparison. And there's Electrode in the Aqua Hideout. Crash, you friggin' nailed it. Nice job. Yeah, I think a lot of people seem to feel like, Okay, so Avi says there are 37 ground types in Gen 1 and 2 and 3. Oh.
In Gens 1,
there
2
it is right
and 3,
there.
Groudon is pure ground type. Eruption is 150 base power, FYI.
Oh yeah, but so is Water Spout. So there are this many ground types, but you're not thinking about the Ho Index. You got to remember we're on the Ho Index, not the National Dex. We're just gonna get really bloated if we go to the National Dex. So there's much less than that, unfortunately, to tool from. To them, Pokemon are tools. Electrode's a sacrifice. I mean, I don't think these guys are so much Pokemon are tools. They're not quite as like they're not quite like Team Magma. But yeah, I'm gonna get to. So we'll do rounds. So we'll get back to donations in a second. So we will mention more. Someone says Wailord for Team Aqua. Yeah, I should have put that from the start. That's like an obvious one. But yeah, I like Electrode. I think an electric type on the water team would also be good, like a nice Rain Dance setter, actually. Or just Go Boom. Swalot. We actually were discussing Swalot today, and I feel like this man should be neutral. I think coughing and wheezing have become political tools, but Swalot is a neutral party. So we're just going to leave Swalot out of it. Sharpedo, obviously. Wailord, obviously. Camerupt, obviously. Magcargo, obviously. Torkoal. Torkoal is the one fire type that we might want to leave out of it. But even at that, I don't know. I think that you could probably put Torkoal. Look, guys, we got 2 fire types right now. We should probably put Torkoal on the list. I just think that maybe don't put it on Maxie's team. I'll write a note there. Not on Maxie's team because it's Flannery's ace. But I think you could definitely see Torkoal on again, maybe one of the admins. Yeah, I think that would be okay. So yeah, we got my cargo. So Muck and Grimer taken care of. I don't know how I feel about Sandslash. It is a ground type, but I just don't know if it really passes the vibe check. Arcanine makes a guest appearance. I think that would be the most we would do for Arcanine. It's certainly not going to be available in the game. Yeah, Houndoom. So Houndoom's not actually in the Ho Index, but it is one of the Pokemon we've been thinking about pulling out, and it's probably like the most vibe check Pokemon for anything. I think if there's like a Pokemon that I would say should be on Team Magma, it's probably Houndoom. So it actually Houndoom is not in the Ho Index. I think people mistake that because you can catch it in Emerald, but it's not actually part of the Ho Index. It's part of the National Dex. Yeah, it's just a post game catch. But I do think it's a very good fit for the team. So yeah, I do like Houndoom. National Dex. Again, I don't love Sandslash. Ooh, yeah, Crocodile would be a great ad as well. That's a really good pick. I do think that Sandslash could probably just be not, and that would be fine. Cacturn's an interesting one because it's a very dry plant, and something about that, I don't know. I do think there's something to be said for if it's not super necessary, you could just leave it for Sydney because he would like to have some Pokemon that are unique to him. It's definitely evil, and it's definitely dark type. But it is a grass type. I like Cacturn more than Shiftry, I will admit. I don't know to not get swept by Swampert. That's, you know what? That's all you needed to say. Cacturn. Maybe, and literally just so as not to get swept by Swampert. I'm also going to write Shiftry here. Shiftry. Oh my god, the spelling is tough. Shiftry. Maybe. And literally just for its chlorophyll. So no, not to get swept by Swampert. Actually, we're thinking about the final fights for both of the evil villain leaders to have weather just automatically up. So when Archie's in that cave, I don't know, I guess Kyogre's just making a downpour down there in the cave. So it's just, water's just going to be up, which makes Swift Swim really good, and alternatively would make Chlorophyll really good. So I think those are both considerations. Maxie. Yeah, I think those are good. Maxie gets Tyranitar. Probably not. I love it, but probably not. Maybe as a rematch. What would you give Archie as a counterpart? Like, Nothing really works. Like Archie would want like a Suicune or something. Ooh, someone says Starmie. Yeah, let's continue on here. Whiscash, I think we'll chill on that for a sec. Claydol for sure. I've explained why I'm not sure about the fossils. Milotic, definitely not. Chat, if you say Milotic type 1, if you say Melodic type 2, kind of like Melodic, that just feels like what it looks like. But I've always been a Milotic child. I was a Milotic child, so alas, I say Milotic. Yeah, Starmie. A lot of Milotic. Okay. Well, I see a couple ones, so thank you guys for making me feel okay about myself. Chad, this is fun. I'm having a good time tonight. This is chill. This is great vibes. We're having a good time. We're cooling. We're having a nice discussion. I feel calm. I just got back from the gym, so I'm like actually at a nice, stable frame of mind. It's excellent. I say Milotic. Melodic. Yeah, 2 sounds melodic. Milotic. Well, I don't like that, but I respect the 3s out there. The secret third thing. Anyway, Starmie is like probably my favorite Pokemon. I just really think it's my favorite Pokemon. Like, I don't know what my favorite Pokemon is, but every time I see Starmie, I'm like, it's that. What an absolute specimen. Did you know that Starmie can learn Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, Psychic, and Surf? If you didn't, now you do. Hunter Special is also pretty good in Gen 3. Yeah, I like Starmie on an occasional team. Not too many Starmies, but maybe the occasional Starmie. Yeah. That is the God Starmie in Battle Frontier. Yes, it is. It's very good for the Battle Frontier too, because of that God setup. I'd love like a Banette Dusclops, but I think we got to reserve that for Phoebe. Tropius is probably a no. Ninetales. I think Ninetales definitely, actually. Again, there's only so many fire types that we can really dish out. And I think Ninetales is kind of mystic. It's kind of ghosty. It's ghost-like. It learns a lot of ghost moves. I could definitely see Ninetales on Maxie's team. I could definitely see Ninetales on Courtney if we were to bring her back. We're going to bring back Courtney, by the way. For anyone that doesn't know, there is you'd probably know. She's from Ruby exclusively, but because there's more Aqua events than Magma events in Emerald, she got left out. Who is Courtney? I've actually never really played Pokemon Ruby, so I don't know. Is she on Mount Chimney, or is she part of the hideout? Whichever one it is. Golduck, I don't know why that guy wouldn't be on a Team Aqua team. I'm gonna throw it on. I don't think it's my top pick, but I don't see why not. It looks appropriate. This is fun, guys. I'm having a good time. I hope you're having a good time too. Dawn Fan. So Fampy, no, but Dawn Fan I will write down for now. No Fampy. I think I might also for Golem say no Geodude, because that's a lot of the early game is Geodude, and Geodude is not the most menacing. I might do Rhyhorn. I think Rhyhorn could get by. Aggron, I'm just going to say Maxi. Priors go to Grunt's admins, maybe. Darfan has a ton of BST. Ooh. Probably not Walrein. Not so much that Walrein doesn't fit. I could totally see Archie with a Walrein, but there is this person that's in the Elite Four that uses Ice Pokemon. Celio on a couple teams. Not the most menacing, but since you said it, Arrow, I'll write it down. Not Sfeel. We can all agree not Sfeel, right? Not. Wait, why is Seviper in non-final stage evolutions? Sorry. I know Glalie is kind of a bit of a gangster, but also runs into the unfortunately runs into the glacier problem. Already covered. Huntail and Gorbis. I think they'd make good picks on the admin teams. I think that would be really fun. Because we're 2003, 2004 Pokemon Emerald. We'll go with the gender norm decision to give Huntail to the male admin and Gorbis to the female, and I think that would feel really good. Relicanth. So I want to make Relicanth a bit of a beast. Like, I think Relicanth should actually be like one of those single stage evolutions that have like plus 500 base stats. There's not a lot of those Pokemon. There's not a lot of them, but I think Relicanth is going to be a late catch, and for that reason, I think like 45 is already pretty good, but I think I'd want to give it like some better attack. And yeah, like I would consider giving Relicanth like maybe another 30, even 40 base stat, because it's going to be such a late catch. Yeah, like Relicanth has been around. Yeah, like it deserves to be cool. Whoa, Relicanth has a reverse Aerodactyl. That's such a fun, interesting idea. You Relicanth do that. Yeah, it's ancient after all. Like, again, I do actually like that. I'm just going to write this down. Make Relicanth opposite Aerodactyl. I like that. Absol could be a viable option. Being the disaster Pokemon, it could definitely spice things up. Yeah, so I should probably get back to some super chats and donations here. So first one from Titanic. I think Absol is not really good for the evil teams, because Absol's actually here to tell you that there's a disaster. Like, what it does is it goes, hey, I'm showing up to let you know that something bad is going to happen. And then bad things happen, and so people associate it with bad things happening, and so they think it's evil, but it's actually not, which is interesting. So that, like, it's a dark type, which is kind of cool, because it suggests that dark is more the perception than the actual intention. So I think that's really, I think that's a really interesting concept that the game plays with. But for that reason, I actually think it should really stick as Sydney's ace. But really, it's a very obvious one we needed to discuss. So thank you, Titanic. We've got a dono from our man Alex, who says the following.
Could you give each final boss fight cast form to set their respective weathers? It'd tie well back to the weather lab plot too. Hopefully you're buffing cast form speed enough to give it time to set weather.
Yeah, so I think we've given cast form like 95 speed. It's gotten like a pretty big speed buff for that exact reason. I think cast form would simply be cool to see another trainer use it. And so for that reason, I'm actually going to put it at the very top. I think we should probably make cast form relate to the teams, even if it doesn't seem like the most evil. I think that would be really cool, and to see like water cast form, that would be sick. So yeah, I do like that idea quite a bit. Darkstar.
Maybe a bit crazy for Team Magma, but hear me out. Anorith and Armaldo. Since many of its deck's entries are about it moving from living in the seat and on land.
I didn't know about that it learns water moves. I was very annoyed that it learns water gun and not like an early rock move. But as I said, like I do think it could work, but I think it might be taking away from Steven. So it's not going to be like a first round draft pick for me. We kind of got like this, like, let's build like the best fitting Pokemon. And then if we still feel like we need stuff, we could kind of pull from like the Armaldos and, you know, that kind of stuff. So not a first round pick, but it's in our back pocket if we need it. So thank you. GF Jake says, what about Walrein? Archie or his admins? Again, I just think Walrein might be a little too tied to Glacia, and that girl really needs some Pokemon to stand out. It's a great Pokemon though, so I will put it on the list. But I'm quite hesitant though. Yeah, Min Chill says thoughts on having Courtney show up in a contest. I'm not really sure about a contest, but I would like to do her in the game itself. Angry Crow, what about Spoink or Grumpig? Spoink is found near Mount Chimney, and Grumpig can learn Sunny Day to boost fire moves. It's certainly a Pokemon that is without identity, so I will put it on the list. And yeah, its relation, proximity to Mount Chimney. I do think that might be enough. Even if it's a little bit weird. Grumpig doesn't really work for the Tate and Liza fight. That would be the first spot you'd want to put it. Kaimeko is probably going to be the fifth member for Tate and Liza. We'll probably leave those for the like Azar because it's an amazing team. And then Kaimeko will just be added as a support Pokemon. So it's going to have like Wish and Follow Me and Helping Hand and stuff like that. So that'll be cool. If you had Sneasel, you could give it to Archie. Yeah, that's actually a really great point. And I feel like kind of the Houndoom equivalent. We've already added Sneasel onto Route 113. So yeah. Sneasel National Dex, Houndoom equivalent. Yeah, I do think that Sneasel could actually fit pretty good there, even though it's, you know, ice, it's frozen water. I don't want to go too hard in the ice, but there are just some ice types that happen to feel so good. So I think I'd go Sneasel though over Glalie for its reasons. Back to Relicanth. Oh wait, what about Spoink? Yeah, we got that. Alex says thoughts on cast form. I think we just covered that, right? We just talked about that. Oka says Walrein is in the anime manga, and there are cards with Archie. Yeah, there's a lot of like Archie's Walrein and stuff like that. It's definitely something to consider. Thank you, Shadow. Slifer, good to see you as always, Slifer. Could Sharpedo and Camerupt get 500 base stat as they are the aces for Archie and Maxie? Yeah, I think they do need probably a little bit of love. So I'll write that as well. Not in our things, but just something to consider. Is a really good point though, that seeing as they are the aces, they probably want a bit more power. And John says, what are your thoughts on Banette? I think that's again probably another, like I said, like a second round draft pick. And the movie sequel says thoughts on second Archie fight since it's unbalanced with Maxie having 3. Yeah, I'm gonna take that and write that down as well, because it's a pretty clear and obvious problem. So we are going to try our best to solve that. So yeah, thank you everyone for super chats. We will make sure to read them all by the end of the stream. Thanks to Funky Child and Tracy for subscribing. Now, Relicanth. Relicanth is not the most evil looking dude, and he is a rock type. So I might actually say second round draft pick for now. We'll come back to Relicanth. I don't think I should probably just make like a list for like probably second. So we're literally gonna call this second round draft picks. Relicanth. This is fun. It does look like a pirate map though. Yeah, Relicanth on Steven. Could see that. That'd be cool. More mythic than evil though. Proxy says Relicanth is too old for this team. Shit. Yeah, so Corsola. For again, we really want to go. Well, it's pink, so give it to the girl. You could say Shelly. Corsola. I think that's also going to be a second round draft pick. Lantern is certainly one for consideration. I think the electric adds a nice something.
Umbreon
it's not on
the team.
any other teams.
We rarely see evolutions get used by villains.
Yeah, I think my thing with the evolutions is that they're so predominant in the last two games. They're literally starters in yellow. I just don't really want to give them more. Like, Emerald doesn't feature Eevee, and people always want Eevee because it's like their favorite Pokemon, because Eevee has 9 evolutions, so you know you're guaranteed to like one of them and be like, I want it in because I want this Pokemon. It just bloats the game. You're adding 5 more Pokemon that don't really need to be added. There's a lot of Psychic types in the game, and there are a lot of Dark types in the game, and the other 3 just, there's better picks. So I'm a pretty hard no on Eevees. I just don't think the game really wants that. But Lantern. People keep saying Octillery. Tell me what you think about Lantern, and I'll come back to that. I actually do think Octillery would be a pretty nice suggestion. So let's.
Or even an Archie Maxi multi-battle. Multi-battles really need to happen more. And while Elite Four or Champion battles being double battles you're unprepared for, I feel like within the story.
So we might have a 2 rematches for the Elite Four, a singles and a doubles. I think that could be kind of cool. I don't know story-wise if that would make sense, other than just like, hey, we've learned our lesson, want to fight us? Something to consider, but not at the top of our priority, I would say. Yeah, so guys, thank you for those super chats. Lantern. Deep sea fish are spooky. Lantern is too happy-go-lucky. Polytoad. Quillfish, possibly. I do think maybe Octillery. Problem is then you're adding another water type to the game. Yeah, Flareon would be the only really useful addition. But yeah, Remoraid isn't in the Ho Index, so it would kind of be a weird pick. Yeah, Tony talks. Emerald is very awesome. I could see Chinchou on some grunts. Chinchou on grunts because it's kind of dreary, comma, Lantern is pretty happy though. Oh yeah, Weaver makes a great point. Also, there's no day and night cycle, like a visual day and night cycle in the games, so it would be weird for Umbreon and Espeon to be in the game for that reason as well. Okay, so I think Lantern is going to be a no for now, but possibly Chinchou. And actually, that kind of relates to Seadra, in my opinion. I think Seadra is a bit of an underrepresented Pokemon. Kingdra has 2 very prominent appearances, and I don't really want to put Kingdra on another team. But I actually think Seadra is kind of menacing. It's another water Pokemon. It's like a water dragon. It's kind of intimidating. I'm going to put in brackets, though. Kingdra is overrepresented on major teams. And you wouldn't really want to give a grunt a Kingdra. So I think, yeah. I think we can probably agree with that. Maybe a Seadra on Shelly. Could be cool. But yeah, I think everyone probably agrees. No Kingdra. Salamence, no. Metagross, no. Registeel, Regice, Regirock. Sadly, no. Ugh, that would be so sick. Regirock. Okay, Registeel on Steven. Regirock on Maxi. Regice on Archie. It wouldn't make sense, but it would be so cool in another ROM hack. Or just give Steven the Reggie trio. Yeah. But why? You know, it's yeah. It's one of those ideas that is cool, but I just don't think it would really really fit in with the game storyline. Latios and Latias, Kyogre, Groudon. I mean, it would be nice actually if there was a fight where each of the main people catch it and then lose control. So you actually have to fight Kyogre and Groudon, and then they would be a little bit more in the story. I don't know what happens. I've actually never played Oras, so I don't know what happens in that. I know there's a Delta episode, but Pyramid King has the Reggies. Yeah, it's very annoying. Can we get another Hyuk guy? Maybe Hyuk guy can make it can make an appearance somewhere. I'll just write a little note. Maybe Ito can make an appearance in the post game. I think that'd be kind of cute. Yeah, I think Reggie's probably want to be part of the post game. It would be like giving Suicune to someone in like Crystal. It would just be very wrong. It's Lottie time, and then the Lottie twins mega Lottie all over the place. They actually mega combine or something. I don't know. I don't think it would be too crazy to give Archie and Maxie Groudon and Kyogre. I actually think that story, like, you could actually probably fit that in where like they gain control of them and they're like, aha, and you fight them with that, and then in them like getting like you beat the Kyogre and then it, you know what I mean? Also, like that could be the way that you set up like Downpour in the fight. So yeah, I guess that's everyone. So for Team Aqua, I guess I should also mention Mightyena on both of these teams. Should probably just put Mightyena at the top because that's going to be a very common pick. Yeah, so that's actually quite a few Pokemon. We've got for Team Aqua, we've got I should also probably put Sharpedo, kind of the team's mascot. Sharpedo, Gyarados, Tentacruel, Crawdont, Huntail, Gorbis, Wailord, Starmie, Golduck, Walrein, Octillery. We've also got Mightyena, Castform, Sneasel, Seviper, Machamp, Crobat, and Electrode. And then Team Magma has Camera, Magcargo, Torkoal, Houndoom, and Ninetales. So the only fire type that's not on this team would be Blaziken. What are we missing? Isn't there are there only 5? Because Houndoom's not in the main game. Is there only 5 fire types? Am I thinking something weird here? Blaziken, Camerupt, Magcargo. Oh, is it Torkoal that I'm not thinking? No, I did say Torkoal. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Yeah, there's just 5. I thought there were 6. There's 6 electric types, maybe? Yeah. Cool. Let's get to a few super chats, and then we'll start making. Well, I think what we'll do next is we should build the the leader teams backwards. So we'll build their final team and then work backwards. There's actually 2 Pokemon that I didn't include that I do need to include, and that is actually Magmar for Maxie and Electabuzz for Archie. No matter what I do, it's tough to not really bring these guys in. Yeah, people asking about Arcanine, it's just so overdone, almost worse than Gyarados, and it's not in the game originally. So yeah, why Electabuzz? it's kind of part of a trio of like those two and Jinx. It would be really nice on a rain team, and Magmar is kind of like so perfect on Team Magma. I can see it. I agree. I think Electabuzz is a stretch, but not the furthest stretch. Also, yeah, Arcanine is so heroic. Good. He is good boy. He does not go on the evil team. He is too good boy. Typhlosion and Feraligatr. I actually like it so much. Like to the point that I hate the fact that they're starters, because they're actually just like so appropriate. Like Typhlosion has really got some ground type energy. Feraligator's got some dark type energy. Koala has lava in its name. Unfortunately, they are starters. So maybe as a post-game fight, how about we just write that down? Feraligatr post-game maxi. And for we do Typhlosion post game maxi. Did I say Archie there? Because I meant, yeah, I be making silly little mistakes. It's actually a great skill of mine. Anyway, let's get back to some super chats here. We got Water Lily just subscribed. Thank you for the subscription. We have the Violet Bee, who says admins should get themes outside of water and fire. They'll certainly get Pokemon outside of that typing, but I do think the teams as a whole needs to have some cohesion. So we are going to keep that under wraps.
Matt,
you know, it'd be kind of weird to give an admin like
species,
a grass
while
type
Maxie might
or what
carry
would be
what
really
are
weird,
implied
like,
to be
like
siblings.
a flying type, you know, little Team Sky action. Air Online on the Magma team. Maybe Mawile for Courtney. So Airline on the Magma team. Yeah, we actually said that a little bit earlier. You must have missed it, but we've got that written down. Aggron for Maxi, and then the other ones on grunts and admins. Definitely fits. So thank you, Stylish. Good to see you as always. Shadow Dragon says save the Reggies for post game quest. 100%. I'd love to do the cool thing, but this is Legacy, and we don't always do the coolest thing. The Wordna says if you do Feraligatr Typhlosion, I think them belonging to one of the admins would make sense. If not the main game, maybe post game rematch. That's true too. You could actually maybe put them on a. It's just you want to step lightly when you're messing around with previous game starters. Like it worked in Crystal. A lot of people have the Gen 1 starters because those regions are tied, but Owen is quite far. It's not quite like in each other's backyard, so we're a little more hesitant to give out Pokemon like that, but it's not a hard no. Got a big donation here from Tai Jirai. Always good to see you. Says, I'm making a petition to include Houndour and Houndoom on the Team Magma roster. Zubat and Golbat are outdated picks. Houndoom could even be admin Tabitha's ace to set him apart from Maxi. Let my special boy play. He's my favorite. Yeah, I don't think we want to put Houndoom in the early game, or maybe even the mid-game, for players to catch, simply because it's the Houndoom effect is what I call it. You throw Houndoom in the game, and every single person's going to run it because it's so loved. And it's one thing to do that in Crystal. We all want to use that in Crystal. But I think that is going to work much better on the evil teams, and maybe a very late encounter. But that's it. Yeah, Houndoom, there just could not be a better Pokemon for Team Magma. So that is one like we're probably pulling out of the national deck just for that team. And thank you again, Tigerai. Chat, I need to see some love. Sorry. I be making the music too loud. I be making the music a little bit too loud. Let's see some love. Let's see some hearts in the chat for Ty Jirai. Always bringing some really good ideas. Big supporter of the channel. Thank you, Juan Diego, for the love. Rusty Robot. Maybe a reference, a mere B team for the GameCube titles. Double battles with Rain Dance, Swift Swim, Hydro Pump, and Giga Drain. Ice Beam to counter all 3 starters. Cool for a tough late game fight. Mirror B team. I actually don't know what that is. Can someone explain what Mirror B team is? I think we definitely want to do some double battle stuff though. So thank you, and I'm sorry for not fully understanding. Homer, I think that Archie, Maxie, and the admins should have Absol since their plans will result in a disaster. Yeah. Mirror B just has a bunch of Ludicolo. Oh God. Oh my God, that's such a deep memory in my brain. That is so lodged somewhere in there. Oh dear God, yeah. What the hell was that? Was that a fever dream? That guy with 6 Ludicolos? Oh my God, stylish with the 100 bomb. And it's just not, it's not playing. Well, stylish, you get the grand favor of having your donation read aloud. Chad, I need to see some hearts for this absolute savage. I do love the idea of including Feraligatr and Typhlosion in there, maybe as post-game rematches, but then that means Megadia needs to be somewhere as well. On Wally, that could be really cool. So I think the thing is you actually can get one of the Johto starters in Emerald. If someone wants to refresh why Professor Birch gives you one, he'll give you one of the 3 starters, which is really cool. So they are in the game, and I feel like because they're part of the post game already, it would make sense to like include them on teams in the post game. But yeah, Meganium fits Wally so well, man. So you know, maybe we just decide all 3 starters are going to feature in Hoenn, because Meganium would feature on Wally's team so well.
I do love the idea of including
There it is.
Typhlosion in there, maybe as
Let it read it out.
matches,
He deserves
but
it.
then that means Meganium needs to be somewhere as well, or that feels wrong. Wally?
Meganium is much better than Roselia also. Gosh. I do love Meganium on Wally. Why do the Johto starters fit so well on Hoenn Teebs? That would be so cool. And I think it would be nice to just feature those 3. Listen, I need to see some hearts for this absolute savage. But yeah, we're gonna think long and hard about putting the starters in the game. Because that would be a lot. I don't like the OG starters. Like, no Kanto. Can we agree? Like, Kanto just doesn't belong in Hoenn. If I have to see another Charizard, I'm gonna lose my mind. But I think Johto might fit. Johto did this cool thing where they didn't really feature a lot of Pokemon, and then they show up in Hoenn, and they feel more like tied to Hoenn than Johto. Like Slugma and Skarmory are actually Gen 2 Pokemon, and not everyone knows that. A lot of people actually think that they're Hoenn Pokemon. So could do something like that for sure. Any other just like, damn, that needs to be there. Poliwrath would be cool, but I've seen enough Poliwrath in my day. I don't need another water type either. Everyone wants Gengar, but it's just going to overshadow Banette and Dusclops, and that would suck because they're really cool Pokemon. They deserve some limelight. Gengar's been on 2 Elite Four teams already. I don't want to see Gengar in our game, not until post-game. Marowak doesn't need... Yeah, Marowak's had its time in the limelight. Electabuzz and Magmar. always kind of been in the background. I think they would be okay. Jinx would be nice on Glacia too, right? That's why these three kind of fit. Lapras, hell no. Vaporeon, hell no. Fossils, just unnecessary. Yeah, man, something about these starters actually just working for me. I just kind of see it. I just kind of see it. Yeah, other than that, I think there's a case to put Ampharos in the game. Politoed is actually very much a Pokemon that you just never see it in Gen 2. So, like, I could see a Politoed appearing, but it's a water type and we don't need it. So, I'm probably not gonna. Sunflora as well. You just never see it in in Johto. We have been talking about Murkrow, actually. That's a fire-ass bird right there. That's a bird that looks like it's up to no good. That is a bird that looks like it's up to no good, and we should probably put it down on both, because goddamn, Murkrow goes hard. I'd love to see Slowking in the game somewhere too. You know, there's just some of these Pokemon that like you never really see on the Gen 3 engine or with the Gen 3 sprites that weren't ever featured anywhere. Like, it'd be nice to see a Slowking somewhere, but you know, we're bringing a lot of Pokemon. If it was gonna bring a Ghost into Gen 3, it would probably be Mischievous, and I don't even think it's necessary because I think Banette and Dusclops are gonna do their jobs. We're gonna make them do their jobs. Sneasel for sure. Slowking is such a gangster. I agree. Murkrow works as Sydney's answers to fighting types and bug types. Horatio, you're kind of cooking with that. I'm probably going to have to write that down. Murkrow really helps cover Sydney's weaknesses. Yeah, I've seen some people say Alakazam for Maxie and Machamp for Archie. I think Alakazam just doesn't need any more love. Piloswine's going to be in the game, but that's going to be a Glacia feature. Ice doesn't really fit on Maxie anyway. Mantine, no. Houndoom, we have agreed on. Stantler, no. Hitmontop's actually going to go in the game. I think we are going to add Hitmontop. Just Hitmontop. But I don't know where that is yet. Oh, and there's Tyranitar, which... Yeah, IDK, man. Tyranitar is going to do something in the game.
So Pokemon that need something to stand out include Yanma, Murkrow, Misdreavus, Girafarig, Ursaring, Delibird,
Really sorry to cut off your donation there, Stylish, because you're being so goddamn generous tonight. Holy ballsack. Chat. You see the absolute flex that this man is throwing down here for the Emerald Legacy? Can I see some, like, love for Stylish? Thank you, man. Like I said, the streams really do, the donations really do help support the channel. I can always get weird about this, but thank you. That's a lot of cash to drop down, dude. So like I said, I don't know, like, to tip a server $151 would be like the most crazy thing ever. So just think about it in that sense. So thank you. We really do appreciate it. Let me just reread that because it is, what a special number. I wonder what it could be referencing. I don't know. It must be something to do with element 115, an anagram of element 115, because that's how anagram works. Johto Pokemon that need something to stand out include Yanma, Murkrow, Misdreavus, Girafarig, Ursaring, Delibird, Piloswine. Yeah, I don't know about Delibird because that's such a meme Pokemon. Murkrow, I agree. Yanma, I actually think is okay. There's already a lot of bug flyers in the game, so I just don't know if Yanma would be able to serve a purpose. It's something, it's definitely in our short list, but it's not quite at the top. And same with Misdreavus, just is gonna overshadow or be the exact same thing as Banette and Dusclops, and we really want to give those two amazing ghost types room to shine. Girafarig, though, is definitely a cook. Arrow suggested giving Norman a Girafarig in place of Spinda. Spiritually, they have a very similar vibe. And Norman's actually from Johto, so we were thinking about a curse Baton Pass Girafarig, because Curse is a Johto TM. So it'd be like a really nice reference. Sorry, I don't think it would be Baton Pass. Just Curse. There's another Baton Pass thing we were working on today. I'm getting. So some of those Pokemon I agree with, and some I don't think so. But Piloswine, Girafarig, Ursaring, and Murkrow definitely on our short list for Pokemon we want to throw in. Yeah, it's also just not in a lot of games, and it's pretty cool. So we'd like that. Consider adding Mikey Manjay from Team Sky. That would be a fun little throw-in. I want to add in a grass trainer. I'd love to just make a really cooked grass trainer. I think that would be great. Yeah, we would really like that. Anyway, moving on. Would you be willing to give Wally the third Hoenn starter that the player character and May Brandon didn't pick? Yeah, that's the other obvious one. Is the third starter goes to Wally. I pick a Blaziken, my starter gets a Swampert, and Wally gets a Sceptile. I think the thing is all three of the Hoenn starters don't really match Wally's vibe. So unfortunately, I don't love the idea, actually. Yeah, I think it's a good idea, but I don't know if it's gonna make our shortlist. Wordna, I feel like Misdreavus should be in only on the grounds that it was trapped in Mount Silver in Gen 2. It needs the exposure like Scarborough and Magcargo. Yeah, I could certainly see it. I think it would have to be like a Victory Road, though, which it's the problem is then you're just going back. It's just like Banette and Dusclops are already so underfeatured in this game. Again, it's just like that's some background stuff, you know? It's like, does the game really need a third pure ghost type? What does that add? You know, like the game needs a fire type. The game needs Slugma, which I didn't know anyone ever needed Slugma. But it sure is hard to justify Misdreavus from a gameplay perspective. Magma and Electabuzz for Aqua. Yeah, we actually covered that a little bit earlier, but thank you, GX. Thank you, Wordna. Hannah says Pokemon for Team Aqua that rarely get used in Hoenn could be Clamperl. As for Magma, the Baltoy line, Trapinch, and Vibrava. Yeah, definitely Clamperl. We're talking about that. We like that a lot. I don't like Flygon, but I could certainly see Vibrava Trapinch. Well, could I even say certainly? Honestly, they don't fit the vibe as much as some other Pokemon do. I think we got to be honest in that. Yeah, I just don't know. It's not so much Trapinch, it's Vibrava that I just don't know if that is giving Team Magma, unfortunately. I would like to, because I love that line, but I think there's better picks. We've got a dono from Killer J who says, your Aqua Magma Pokemon list is so good. I think Cast Form and Fossil seem weird because the game implies the 3 Pokemon are too rare for everyone to have. Yeah, so Cast Form would be on each team once each. That's the only way to do that.
Really big question. What about the level 70 Rayquaza? I feel it's essential to Emerald's identity, but also, if you don't do a self-imposed challenge, the game transforms into baby mode.
Yeah, I think there's a few ways to work around that. You could make it so that in hard mode, it feel weird to nerf Rayquaza's level, so you could just make it available after the Elite Four. I think that would probably be okay. But running Rayquaza in the E4 is also, it's very integral to its identity. It's a problem, and honestly, I don't have all the answers yet. So I think that's one of those ones that I just have to say I'm aware of the issue, but I don't know what the solution is to it. So yeah, but thank you. Burham Bolo says, I thought about this recently, but as a small buff for Armaldo, thanks again, Stylish, give it Twin Needle. Actually, I just gave Armaldo Twin Needle today, so that's really funny. Thank you. Yeah, it needs Twin Needle. It wants Twin Needle. It's going to destroy things with Twin Needle, and it's going to have a great time doing it, so it's very fun. Maxi or an admin should get Flygon. Yeah, maybe one Flygon, but you got to consider Drake too, you know? I mean, Drake actually does have 3. No, see, Drake only has 2 unique Pokemon in Salamence and Flygon, so we might be pushing things. Again, I think Flygon is just it's not a top round pick. Like, to me, I think there's other Pokemon that will do a cool job, and I think you want Flygon because you like Flygon, not because it fits the ethos and vibe of Team Magma, unfortunately. Cast Form works best on teams of the admins that raid the weather place, since you mentioned it. Thank you, Weebra. Yes, I was going to get to that. Yeah, I think one Cast Form on each of the admins, and that would be it. No, not lots of Cast Forms, just one Cast Form for each evil team. We get our hands on one, and they get their hands on one as well. I think that would be kind of cool. I think we have a donation from Shadow. It says, if you're going to give Wally Meganium, then how about he is planning to be a grass type gym leader in the post game? Yeah. What is Wally's vibe? He's kind of like a fairy vibe, if anything, right? So it's kind of hard to consider. It's kind of hard to consider that right now. I think we got a lot of things to think about before we can get to that. But it's a cool idea, and it's probably the number 1 candidate for being a grass trainer. Going for thematic teams, Aqua is a storm, gets water, flying, electric. You got it. And Rain Dance, Magma is a volcano, gets fire, rock, ground, and poison. Actually, that to me is the vibe of volcano, is poison. Fire, rock, ground, and poison. And I guess steel is fine. Yeah. I feel like fighting kind of fits on Aqua more because they're like pirates, and sailors tend to have fighting types. So you could say like, but yeah, I mean, different poison types fit. You know, Muck is better on Aqua. Yeah, I don't know about flying on Aqua. I like the implication, but at the same time, there's not a lot of flying types. Like, again, we just made a really good list. But I kind of feel like we're good. You know what I mean? Like, yes, it would be cool. So sorry, that is so loud. But is it needed? There's a lot of Pokemon. You're gonna start getting into some bloat if you start adding too many more. So, I do like the electric idea though. Storm, thunder, rain dance. It all fits. It all fits very well. Stylish, just continuing to flex. Let me just say, Doug, thank you once again for the donation. I've heard that some people listen to these when they're going to sleep. Let's listen. Any update on the Surskit?
Update on the Surskit masquerade situation? I thought making Surskit a Scissor situation was a banger idea, but I'd care how the rest of the team felt about it, if the idea is maintained.
Yeah, so a lot of people like the idea of Surskit being a side evolution, Masquerade being a side evolution. I like it too, but a lot of people really hate it. And I'm going to be honest that is going to be a very late development decision. I'm not making a decision right now because we've never changed a type before. And I just think people that are asking for that aren't really thinking about what Emerald is. I'm not saying we would never change a type, and I do think if there was a Pokemon that should get a type change, Masquerade probably is at the top of that very short list. The problem is if we do that, then you open the floodgates, and this entire comment section is just going to be blatantly ignoring the entire thing that made them like this ROM hack in the first place. So yeah, it would be weird. It would be really weird. And so if it would happen, and it's not going to, but if it were going to, I would be like, oh, the game's dropping in like 3 weeks. Okay, we're gonna do it now so that the entire development cycle isn't plagued by Meg Gyarados, dinosaur type and such. So yeah, that's kind of where I sit on that. Stylish. I also, Stylish, I must ask that you stop donating because you have hit your cap and you are too generous. But chat, I do need to see another round of hearts for Stylish because this man has dropped $300 this stream. And that is a lot of money to donate in one stream. That is insane. I don't really know how to respond to that, but thank you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Appreciate the support. I'm just a broken record. I've been saying the exact same thing. But thank you. That's really all I can say. You're an absolute savage. Darkstar says, if only Delmies existed. Oh, it would be so cool. Oh God, don't even get me started. Delmies would be the.
Hi, chat.
Hey, come here.
Okay.
Hey.
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 Oh my gosh, it's so far down.
Hey.
Hey.
How's the movie?
Man,
Are you scared again?
9.5 out of 10. The ranking went up. Yeah, I'm terrified. I ran in the parking garage to the elevator.
So this is Liv.
Hi.
She has a YouTube channel. What's it called?
We both have it.
Yeah, we do.
Beyond the Cave.
It's at Beyond the Cave Pod if you want to subscribe to her YouTube channel.
It is about movies. If
about
you're a
movies.
movie nerd like me, come on over. Just saw Longlegs again. Oh, the chat's bigger over here.
Yeah.
Hey is for horses. Hey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Libra says hi.
Oh, thanks. Hi, Libra.
Um,
Live. Yo.
yeah, she saw Longlegs.
I saw
Someone asked
Longlegs.
Evil Dead.
But
and
I have-
Longlegs.
I have seen Evil Dead. Anyway, we can't get into this. Move over, Patrick. I just came to say hi because I'm kind of scared. Okay, bye.
Lock the door.
No, it doesn't matter because it's the devil.
Oh.
Don't say that though. That's spoilers.
You had fun?
What if I just hang out right here?
I mean, if.
Bye.
Okay, see ya.
I might come crawling in.
Alrighty. Thank you, Denver, for subscribing to at Beyond the Cave. Ooh. Yeah, I don't want to talk about long legs, but yeah. Damn. Okay, Connor, just want to note this. TG5. Wally uses underappreciated Pokemon. Magneton, Roselia, Delcatty, and Altaria. That's actually such a good take. All of those Pokemon kind of are underappreciated, even if they shouldn't be. Like, Magneton is incredible. Altaria can sweep. The other two are Pokemon. So yeah, I actually do like that. And I do think that makes the Meganium very appropriate for the team. So yeah. I think we're in a pretty good spot. I think we're going to get away from super chats for right now. Okay, we've got one more as soon as I say it. Last super chat, and then we'll start looking at some more specifics. We'll turn these into like admin options, maxi options, and grunt options. Tyjurai says, I've one dark horse pick in the form of Cacnea Cacturn for Team Magma. As a desert Pokemon, it needs dry land to thrive, has a variety of attack methods and walls water starters. Yeah, he's a good boy. Yeah, I think that is on the very short list of probablys. Yeah, we've got that and Shiftry written down. So we're gonna think about it and implement it if we so choose. People are saying my mic volume is a little too low. Is this any better? I'm sorry. Sometimes I talk like this into my mic, and I realize that I probably shouldn't do that. So, would that be a little bit better if I raised it? Yeah. Let's start making Team Aqua grunt, the grunt roster. So, Aqua grunt. Okay, so our list of Aqua Grunt Pokemon are Carvana, which I do know how to spell. Tentacool. I don't know if I actually like Wailmer, but it is already on an Aqua team, so sparsely. Celio. Chinchou. I'd say Seadra. Yeah, I'll also just say to chat, I'm seeing a lot of repeat questions and suggestions. So definitely, if you want to know everything we've cooked up so far, you may just have to rewatch the start of the stream. Of course, Poochyena, Mightyena. I think Mightyena is more of like a mid pick though. It shouldn't be reserved for like Maxi. I don't know. How do we feel about Corphish? People are saying Corphish. I definitely think Crawdont. I don't know about Corphish. We can take a look at Corphish if we want to get a vibe check. I guess the fact that it turns into something dark. It's kind of derpy. It's too nice. A lot of people kind of agree. Hey, Carlos. Yeah, I'm just not really feeling it, guys. Just not really feeling it. So pre-evos, we actually don't have that many, which is kind of fine because Aqua is more in the second half of the game anyway, and there's a lot of good final evolutions that work. So non-fully evolved, you've got like Poochyena. Actually, let's do it in sort of like this. Like Tentacool, Wailmer, Chinchou, Carvana, Poochyena. Then sort of the mid-tiers like Celios and Mightyenas. Yeah, and again, great point. I do often say evil teams just because it's kind of like a filler word. But really what I mean are just the teams. Because, yeah, they are, as a fan of animation says, just misguided idiots. Yeah, so Team Aqua appears 3 times before the 3rd gym. But I guess what I mean is like there's no major sections of fighting them in the early game. Like, it's a single grunt and then a single grunt again, and then 2 people in the museum. It's 4 fights. You can easily. Oh, also Zubat, of course. We would be very remiss. We would be remiss to forget. So Poochyena, Zubat, Carvana, Tentacool, Wailmer, Chinchou. So kind of like, this is all you need really for the first section of Aqua. And then there's also like Celio, maybe a Seadra, Mightyena, and Golbat, of course. So that's kind of like fine. Like that is like, I almost feel like I wanna like label this like tier 1, tier 2, and then you've got like the big boys. You've got the tier 3. So like your Sharpedo, Gyarados, Tentacruel. Actually, I would probably put Tentacruel as like a tier 2. I don't think it's that crazy. Wailord, Starmie, Golduck probably in the tier 2 as well. But yeah, like Sharpedo, Gyarados, Crawdaunt, Huntail, Gorbis, Wailord, Starmie. Walrein, very sort of like admins, end of game type stuff. We've got Chinchou, we've got all this. We've got Mightyena done. I would say Castform probably should go in tier 3. Sneasel. I'm not really sure about Sneasel, but I'll put Sneasel in tier 3 for now. Seviper, another tier 2. I also forgot about Grimer. Grimer can go in tier 1. I would say Muck is tier 2. And just to be clear, like, just because it's tier 2 doesn't mean it can't be on a tier 3 team. It's more just not backwards. Like, you don't want Gyarados on like the first grunt in Petalburg Woods, you know what I mean? Yeah. This is very much vibes, but like, I hope it makes sense. Seviper, Muck. So Crobat to me is, tier 3, I think. It is a friendship evolution. It's pretty good. Voltorb can go to tier 1. I think tier 2 can see Electrode probably. But then, it's like Electabuzz is pretty special. So I think Electabuzz would be like a tier 3. And then Murkrow, I think we could also say is like probably a tier 2. So that's kind of how I divide it. So like Archie, admins, late game, grunts, sparingly. Mid, late game grunts, and early game. What do bats have to do with pirates? They're just already on the teams. That's really it. Yeah, people have been asking about Solrock and Lunatone, and I just think it's such a bad idea, to be honest. I don't see it. And I think you'd really be, it's like you gotta choose your battles, right? If you give every Pokemon to every trainer, nothing feels special. And I think that would really hurt Tate and Liza. So yeah, there's kind of like your Aqua. I like how this is laid out. So it's like we have pools. So, okay, early game, Poochyena, Zubat. I've actually toyed with the idea of the museum fight being a little harder and maybe even seeing like a Gyarados. I mean, that might be a little too strong. Again, like base Emerald, yeah, that'd be too hard, but yeah, we're going to be doing a lot. So like maybe that fight could see something stronger, like maybe a Tentacruel or a Seadra. just the museum, the Slateport Museum is just so boring and easy, and it's like your third encounter with Aqua. I think it should be a little bit harder. So we're not gonna decide that now. But like I said, like I think that should definitely, like I wanted that to have like more of a serious fight. Maybe like a Gyarados, because that evolves at level 20, and that's why Gyarados fits, whereas a lot of these wouldn't. But yeah. Yeah, that museum is just so boring. So okay, that is Team Aqua. Team Magma. Let's do the same thing. So we've got our tier 1. This is great. We started by organizing them, and now we are going to tier them. So tier 1. We have Zubats and Poochyena. We have Numel. We have Slugma. We have maybe Houndour. We have... I don't know if I love Aeron, but we'll do it for now. Coughing. Can't really see Spoink on a team either. Maybe Cacnea. And oh, Baltoy. Thank you. Stylish. Yeah, okay. We have tier 2, which is like mostly mid. Again, mostly mid and late game grunts. So, maybe it'll, I could see a Tentacruel on like a, whatever. Again, it works one way, but just not the other. Works one way, not the other. Okay. So tier 2 to me is like probably Magcargo. Well, this is the problem with the fire types, is there's not that many fire types. Okay, definitely Lairon. That's an easy one. I would say probably Rhyhorn and Graveler. I suppose we'll throw Geodude here. I don't love Geodude on Magma. Rhyhorn in tier 2. I feel like Rhyhorn is more tier 2, but I guess its stats aren't that crazy, are they? Sometimes I feel like Rhyhorn is a golem when it's more like a Geodude, right? Yeah. What Geodude stats? Yeah, that Rhyhorn is very Geodude-y. Wheezing, Murkrow. Can't forget our boy Golbat and the ever-present Mightyena. So Golbat, Mightyena, Magcargo, Lairon, Rhyhorn, Graveler, Wheezing, Murkrow. Yeah. Let's build the third tier, and we might have to make some more ads for tier 2. For now, though, it's definitely going to be Camerupt. Definitely going to be Camerupt. Definitely going to be Torkoal. Ninetales, I think. I guess we could throw Vulpix into tier 1. Ninetales might have to go tier 2 just because there's so few fire types. I feel like Houndoom as a tier 3, even though Houndour is tier 1. I just want Houndoom to be kind of rare. Magma. Yeah, I don't love Sandslash. I feel like he's just like a cute little boy who doesn't want in this war. Yeah, so if you're suggesting anything that's not on the list already, I recommend just going back because we've already just formulated all the Pokemon we want on the teams. Now we're just kind of placing them into early grunts, mid grunts, and admins kind of vibe. Grumpig, I suppose, would be a tier 2, wouldn't it? So tier 2 is actually filling up. So that's done. That's done. Crobat is, of course, tier 3. Castform is tier 3. Zangoose. Probably going to be a tier 2, even though it's good enough to be in tier 3. I just think it's a Viper's tier 2, so that makes sense. Weezing is a tier 2. Mightyena is covered. So it just leaves a few. Swords Dance Zangoose would be tier 3. Yeah, and that's the thing is learn stats vastly determine it too. But I guess, again, the idea is like, I'll say it again, just because it's in tier 2 doesn't mean it can't be on an admin team. I'm just saying it's like minimum or higher would be like, it could be on a random grunt that maybe we wanted to make kind of strong. I think that Donphan probably should go in tier 2. Aggron in tier 3. Yeah. So Aggron, Crobat, Camerupt, Torkoal, Houndoom, Magmar, Castform. And maybe Cacturne or Shiftry. I'll throw Cacturne and Shiftry in there for now. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. That's a lot of Pokemon. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Yes, it's about the same. 30 and 32. Perfect. The other thing that actually works nice about this is Aqua tier 3 has more options, and Aqua is more so endgame, whereas Magma is very much the mid game, and there's more options we can throw into that. So I think this actually works really nice. Right on in tier 3. Thank you, Crash. I'll put that. Let's actually lower this guy down and just a little bit of rearranging here. And yeah, right on. Oh, and Golem actually as well. Golem can go in here as well, I think. Yeah, Mega's Last Stand is Magma Hideout. So, yeah, I could not disagree more with Lunatone and Magma and Solrock being on Magma Aqua teams. It's just so bad. It's just so bad. I'm sorry. I get it. I get it. Like, the moon affects the tides and Solrock is the sun, but like, no. Yeah, Castform got some pretty nice buffs today. You want to see Castform? I can show you what Castform got. So 90 speed now. 90 speed in Gen 3 is fast. Plus EVs. It's gonna outspeed most everything. Sorry, it's really. There we go. Hopefully that's a little bit easier to read. It got a slight buff, 5 HP. So previously Castform just had 70 in every stat, I think. It's really weird. I hate when they do that. It was bad. That's bad, by the way. That's like 350 stats. Does that sound right? Anyway, 85 special attack. Weather Ball actually goes very hard in the sun. Like a Weather Ball has like 200 base power, I think, because it becomes a fire move, and because it has become a move, like a weather move, it's doubled. And then because the sun is out and it's a fire move, it doubles again. I think that's right. Oh, 420. Oh, yes, because it's 6 times 7. Jesus, I've spent way too much time in Gen 1. Yeah, I'm thinking. I was like 5 times 7 is 35. But yeah, 420. And we've given it plus 5, 10, 30. 5, 10, 30, 35, 50. Damn, do we? So 470, actually. I think that's right for cast form. Yeah, clearly we'll get some similar treatment. It's another one of those just all like 80 base. Wait, what would 80 be? 80 times 6 is 480. Yeah, still not very good. So. Oh, it becomes 150 base power? Okay. I don't understand how that works, but cool. Cool. Either way, that's really good. And with 85 special attack, it can now do something. And it has 90 speed and actually relatively okay bulk. So 50 times 2 plus 50 from weather. Oh, 50 times 2 plus 50. Okay, it's not 50 plus 50 times 2. Cool. Yeah, I was wondering. I felt like 200 was a lot. Okay, we're just going to get to some super chats. And then we can briefly look at like a final sort of build potentially for Maxi and Archie. And I think that'll be a good stream. So Quillfish for Aqua, as it's like a scene mine. Listen, I love Quillfish for Aqua, Lewis, but there's a lot of water Pokemon in this game. And if we're going to add any... Like, here's the thing. The perfect version of Emerald doesn't need a single Pokemon added. That would be the perfect version of Emerald. Like, it's already so good that, like, it's got perfect distribution and everything's good. Anytime you add a Pokemon that is bad, we don't want to add Pokemon to the game. People are like, yes, you do, because that makes it cool. Our goal is not to be cool. Our goal is to make a game that you remember, that feels like the game you remember. So if we add every Pokemon that would be cool, we end up having 387 whatever Pokemon in the game, and that's not good. We don't want that because that's bloat. That's really bad. That is awful. It makes your decision-making process on what team you want so difficult that you will like the game and your experience less because you're like, well, I could have gone this and I didn't know. I don't know if I made the right decision. You'd be way happier if I was like, here's 18 really good Pokemon, pick 6. Then here's 200 really good Pokemon, pick 6. It's too hard. So with that, water is the last thing we need to add, despite it being a great fit. And Tentacool is better anyway. But I agree, stylistically, it is perfect. Is there any way to not make the middle late game as bloated with the grunt fights, especially the back-to-back bases? You could probably play around with that a bit, and I think the game would benefit from it. I'm gonna write that down. Would it be possible to move the team events around so it's not so back-to-back in the end game? What about an event right after? I guess Flannery wouldn't be, or maybe right after Norman. I don't know. Again, nothing has to be perfect right now. We're just spitballing. I don't know. Maybe. Thank you, GX. Tajirai says, are Magma Aqua grunts the type to catch local Pokemon or adhere to standard team picks? Aqua has so many options for water types that Magma may have to improvise teams just to compete. Well, I think as you saw here, we've actually got like 32 different unique options for Magma and 30 for Aqua. So it's actually pretty split. It's just that Aqua has more pure water, where Magma is very fire, rock, and ground. And that's fine because that's all works together to give you a similar amount. So we're chilling. Thank you. Darkstar says, I'm heading to bed. Just wanted to give one last donation. Say, I love the effort. Oh my God. I love the effort you and your team put into these ROM hacks. Thank you so much, Darkstar. We really do appreciate it. We appreciate all the love. I love doing this. It's really fun to just chat and sort of brainstorm on stream. I feel like you guys can be a little more part of it this way. So, yeah. We've got one final dono from Stylish of the Night, who says, funny number, final dono of the day, I promise. Stylish says, do you think Sharpedo and Camerupt were designed before or after Team Magma Aqua concepts were released? They feel so tied to the teams, it really makes you think they were designed for them. That's a really fun question. I like that. I think, Stylish, that to me, Camerupt is like, yes. Like, it's an eruption Pokemon. It's an erupting camel that's fire ground. That is literally Team Magma. Like, Magma is a volcano. Like, isn't there, like, when you fight them, it shows a volcano, their logo? No, I think it's just like an M in the shape of a volcano or something. I don't know. I don't know, chat. What do you think? What do you think? I personally think they were probably designed alongside each other. Like, hey, so yeah, probably. Sharpedo, Water Dark. Also probably, because it feels weird that they would put 2 Water Dark types in the game. Like, it seems a little redundant. So I feel like they were like, we need a really cool, menacing Pokemon for Team Aqua. A shark, obviously. And they just fit so well. Obviously, like, we want to keep those as their leads. Yeah, I do see some people saying, like, Flygon on Magma, Altaria on Aqua. I don't know. I think if I let you guys pick, you'd just put every single Pokemon on every single team. So, gotta show some restraint. But overall, it's, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's very hard to say. Yeah, there's that Epic Dude mentions this. There's a beta Pokemon that's like a shark with an anchor on it. It's like a water steel type. It's pretty cool. The 97 gold beta. Chris also mentions it. Yeah. So. Yeah, I do think a final Maxi team with Kyogre would go so hard. So let's actually, now that we've gone through our donos, we had Stylish, we had Jono plays for the subscription, Darkstar, Tiger IGX, Alex. Alex says Corphish is the ruffian Pokemon. It's not dark, but it has a dark rude attitude, a lot like the grunts. Not evil, but mean. Yeah, I don't. My playtest chat is saying Corphish would absolutely commit playground crimes. Corphish would throw rocks at people for fun. Okay, I'll put Corphish in the tier 1. How about that? Actually, Crawdon could maybe then go in tier 2. We could probably afford another water type in here. So let's look at Team Aqua. Aqua leader Maxi Archie. Yeah, Shadow Dragon. We haven't really looked into bases just yet, but we will get cooking away. Don't you worry. Okay, so Aqua leader Archie. Sharpedo. Ace. Kyogre. Question mark. Could be a cool 6th. Question mark. I think Archie at least needs 5 Pokemon. 2, 3, 4, 5. What have we got here? What is like definitely? what is definitely? It's actually, I like Gyarados. Just dies so easy to electric type. Like I think Electabuzz, right? Yeah, like we gotta throw Electabuzz in here. There's also a lot of Gyarados. Reminder: there is a lot of Gyarados Tentacruel on other teams. Like that's 2 from Wallace. Just a reminder. Do we want Crobat? I could possibly see Sneasel in here. Sharpedo, Sneasel, Electabuzz, and then like 2 water types. Yeah, like Crobat was on his OG team, but now we're kind of like losing water types. You know what I mean? Like we can make a list that's bigger than 6 right now, and then right down. So I think we're thinking Wailord, we're thinking Gyarados. I think we're thinking maybe not Tentacruel. Starmie. Actually, Starmie is probably the hottest pick. Also, Starmie is nice because it covers fighting types, which would be a nice complement to Sharpedo. So Huntail and Gorbis and Castform won't be here, just a heads up. I don't know about Crawdaunt either. I don't think that is quite mighty enough. I mean, Wailord, it's kind of like a shark and a whale. Like, how more badass do you get? Like, would you do... What if you did Sharpedo, Starmie, Electabuzz, Wailord, not Gyarados, not Tentacruel, Kyogre. So Sharpedo, Starmie, Electabuzz, Wailord, and Sneasel or Crobat. It's a bit of Gen 1, isn't there? Yeah. Okay, so we have Sharpedo, we have Wailord, we have... Oh, it really is just Sharpedo and Wailord, isn't it? Missing a special tank. Muck. Yeah, I could also see no Electabuzz. I'd really appreciate, guys, if you're coming in here at this very moment and you haven't watched the rest of the stream, to not make suggestions, because we've made a lot of figuring out. Yeah, like people are saying Lantern. We've already talked about why Lantern doesn't really fit. Smith and Loving Starmie, name a better duo. A lot of people have said they want Starmie on Archie. I just think Lantern is so... Playtesters, if you got ideas, let me know. I will throw Lantern on here. The problem is that there's this person named Wallace who is a water champion. So it does make this tricky. Reminder that we need to remember, we are making our decisions off of Emerald, right? So, you could say, oh, there's not enough water. This is Archie's team. There's only one water type. Give Archie Cacturn, Dark type plus Swampert check. I don't think Starmie fits on Aqua. Oh, neither do I. But like 3 people were for it, and I was like, okay. I agree. I don't think Starmie fits here either. I think Starmie would be much better on like Wallace or Juan. I'm happy to cut Starmie. I think there's better places Starmie can go where it can still really be cracked. So let's drop Starmie. I love you, but yeah. I guess we gotta throw. Wait, not Cacturn. No. Crobat acts as a nice roadblock to Sceptile users because of poison flying. Yeah, I mean, Crobat is already also on the team, so I think that could definitely be, like, shortlisted. One person out of 1,000 requests Starmie. Smith, say no more. Sharpedo, Crobat, Electabuzz. I really think we need Wailord in here. As okay, what if we do wait. What if we do it like this? Wailord feels like such a Wallace Pokemon. God damn it, Wallace, you're ruining everything. Here's the other thing. If Kyogre, what if we say this? Wailord or Kyogre? So if we decide that Kyogre isn't going to be able to, we're not going to be able to make it a storyline event, I think we would be able to. I think one or the other is enough. They're both whales, right? Wailord, as Weber says, is just diet Kyogre. Exactly. So one or the other, but not both. I like that. We certainly don't want to make this too Wallace-y. People are saying Kyogre becomes the ace. I feel like ace is more than just the last Pokemon in your party. Like Sharpedo is Archie's ace. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, assuming we can have Kyogre. Yeah, and Wallace can have the okay. We'll just because y'all are gonna get caught up on that. Is there another Gen 3 Pokemon we can add? Relicanth, Seviper, Crawdaunt. Crawdaunt is just like a no because it's just another water dark. I don't love it. I guess Walrein could be in the consideration. I think there should be a Archie double battle like Maxie has. Magma and Electabuzz, Zangoose and Seviper would go kind of hard considering these two villains fighting each other. Yeah, I think I don't think Archie should have a Seviper, but like we'll definitely put Seviper on another team. Walrein doesn't fit Archie. I don't like Walrein. Takes away from Glacia. As we've said before, Ludicolo is probably a hard no. Surprisingly, like Archie is quite a difficult team to craft. You could replace Mightyena with Sneasel. Sneasel instead of Mightyena. Relicanth? So I think we're going to put Huntail on... I think we're going to put Huntail on Matt's team. And yeah. Cast form is... There's only going to be one cast form that's also going to go to an admin. So... Electabuzz, Sharpedo, Crobat, Electabuzz, Sneasel, and one more water type. Suppose Huntail actually would probably fit nicely. I just like it to be another Gen 3 Pokemon. Relicanth, Huntail. Yeah, he was diving to find the seafloor cavern. I could see that. I could see Huntail, Sharpedo, Crobat, Electabuzz, Sneasel, Huntail, Kyogre. Or sorry, Huntail or Relicanth maybe. Okay, so we've got 2 Pokemon that are already on his team, tied to him. That's chill. And then 2 more Hoenn Pokemon. And then 2 ads from prior gens. Like Crobat is already on his team, so I don't like. I know it's a Gen 2 Pokemon, but in my head it's like, well, it was already there, so like, I don't want to like if we were adding another Gen 1 or 2 Pokemon, it would be different. But because Crobat is already kind of tied to Archie, it feels okay. The other thing is like, this is Archie. I'm just gonna say it again. Archie doesn't really want to be a team of 6 water types. I just want to remind us about that. Like, that's Wallace, that's Juan, that's Covered, that's Glacia. Just to remind you, like, he doesn't really want to be a team of just 6 water types. So I think that half could even be enough. Now, admin Shelly could have Gorbis and Starmie. Oh, okay, sure. Admin Matt. 1 Huntail. And maybe Cast Form. Maybe Cast Form for Matt. We could do Seviper for both of them. Crawdaunt probably on one of them. Maybe Crawdaunt on Matt. Yeah, I do think Ishnix makes a good point. Like, Relicanth gives some shine to a Pokemon that's never been used. And then Huntail Gorbis could be admin. Yeah, like, ironically, I feel a lot better about the admins than the actually Archie, ironically. So Huntail, Gorbis will be their aces. I mean, Starmie, I might not even want Starmie on Shelly, TBH. I'd really like Starmie on Wallace's team, replacing like Tentacruel. Ooh. What if Shelly gets a Tentacruel and Wallace gets a Starmie? That would also make Sceptile slightly better. There's so many options. It's going to take forever to come to a decision. Oh, Shelly did attack the weather. Oh, thank you. Thank you. My bad. Yeah, sorry. No, you're so right. Matt's like, he's like the guy that is like, yo, you almost got to the submarine in the hideout. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Great point. Great point. Shelly should have the cast form. Matt can have... That's not a bad team. Gorbis, Tentacruel, Seviper, cast form. That's kind of cool. Huntail, Seviper, Crawdaunt. I mean, for now, we could give them both a Tentacruel. I could certainly see Matt rocking a Gyarados instead, though. Actually, that's pretty hard. That's actually pretty hard. It's three water types and Viper. A lot of people saying Matt should have a Machamp. I could certainly see it. And then maybe Admin Shelley. Could have a Mightyena, actually. Because it's a dog. Matt Champ. Nice. Yeah, Matt really is a Machamp guy. Could Shelley get a dark type? Yeah, like Sneasel. Probably like Sneasel or Mightyena. Ooh, also maybe an Electrode, though. Damn, these like are actually some great admin teams, and not perfectly done. But I do like Shelley with an Electrode. She doesn't necessarily need a Seviper. Seviper. No Sneasel because of Archie. Electrode fits because of the hideout. Yeah, I don't know if Sneasel is... None of this is... Yeah. This is not done. Archie is not done. Okay, let's see what Arrow cooked up. So Arrow said Sharpedo, Muck, Electabuzz, Mightyena, Wailord, Electrode, Gyarados, Crobat as options. Yeah, and basically that Wailord could just be replaced with Kyogre. So options is Sharpedo, Muck, Electabuzz, Mightyena, Wailord, Electrode, Gyarados, Crobat. Okay, let's just write that all out. So Sharpedo, Muck, Crobat. Wait, let's actually do our Muck, Crobat, Electabuzz, Electrode. So these are kind of like the options in my opinion. Archie with Muck is weird. Yeah, I also think like you've got Crobat here already. I don't know if you definitely don't want two poison types. Would be fine to remove Muck, I think. And then I think I would probably want to remove Gyarados. Sharpedo, Mightyena, Crobat, electric type. What if we just said this? Gyarados or Huntail or Relicanth, Electabuzz or Electrode. Yeah, people are saying like Muck is kind of like anti-water, so I can kind of see Muck not being on this team. Keep Crobat and Sharpedo, that's 2/3 of the team. It's true. I don't know. I don't know about Sneasel. Yeah, and let's say Huntail is just Matt. That's his unique Pokemon. So Gyarados or Relicanth. I actually think I would be quite happy with that team because it still feels like Maxi, and then in making it keeping all of Maxi's team, I think the other three that you add kind of feel a little bit more cool. With that said, Admin Shelley, Gorbis, Tentacruel. Something like that for now. We're not done, right? Remember, like people kind of freak out, but it's not done. Let's do Maxi. Because Maxi's going to be so much easier. Magma leader Maxi. Okay, I know. How about Camerupt? How about Crobat? How about Mightyena? How about Aggron? How about something? And how about Groundon? I would be down to swap Mightyena for Houndoom. I think it's one or the other. You don't need both. Oh, and Magmar. Camerupt, Crobat, Houndoom, Aggron, Magmar, Groudon. That's so easy. Yeah, that's just like so much better. Okay. Now we have admin Courtney with she'll lead a wait, do we have something for Courtney? I feel like we had something for, was it Ninetales? I think it was Ninetales. Right? And then oh my god, it's getting late. Just let me text my girlfriend. I'm almost done. Are you asleep? Yeah, Maxi's team is super basic. I don't know. Ooh. Maxi needs a Cacturn. Well, you could throw a, I mean, Cacturn does fit the vibe, doesn't it? If you're going to throw a grass type in. Yeah. You could swap Crobat. What about that? Camerupt, Cacturn, Houndoom, Aggron, Magmar, Groudon. Because, like, if we leave Archie with, say, Mightyena and Crobat for vibes, I don't feel as much need to give it to Maxi's final fight. Admin, what is it, Tabitha? Who the hell is Tabitha? I would say Torkoal, like Ace Fire type. It's Torkoal, Houndoom, or Magcargo. What do we think? Like Houndoom kind of, right? Camerupt, Ninetales, and Houndoom kind of like I don't mind Houndoom being on Maxi and Tabitha's team. It's just it's so good. It needs who should have cast form? Certainly one can get one will need a Zangoose. We'll give them both Zangoose for this current moment. We're just brainstorming. People get caught up. Don't worry, guys. Just to make life easier. Let's say cast form here. Let's say Rhydon. Let's say Golem. Let's say Magmar, Golem, Aggron, Torkoal, Murkrow. I could see a Murkrow on one of these teams actually. I could see a Murkrow on Courtney's team. That'd be kind of badass. Murkrow. I feel like Murko. How do you spell Murkrow? I don't care. Yeah, this isn't real. This isn't real. Okay, I just said it's not real. Someone's saying shouldn't have Zangos with both teams. It's not. It's not. We're just brainstorming. It's going to be on one of their teams. Murkrow. Claydol. What about that? Ninetales, Claydol, cast form, Murkrow. Do you feel like Zangoose fits Tabitha? What about Rhydon? Is this too water weak? Yeah, Tigerai. Definitely Claydol. Definitely like Claydol. Tabitha always felt like the tech guy, and Tabitha psychotic. Yeah, very, very water weak. I agree. Like, do we want to throw Shiftry onto one of these teams? Could throw Shiftry. Could also throw Cacturn, you know, just to stop them from being so ground water weak. Courtney Shiftry, like or yeah, like you could do each. The only problem is then Tabitha and Maxie feel a little similar, so I think I'd actually do it the other way around. Just because Maxie has Cacturn and Houndoom, so this team should have Houndoom and Shiftry. Even though I agree that Shifty kind of, it feels like it should be the other way around. I don't know why. So here's what Arrow said for Maxie. It's very, very small right now. Aggron, Flygon, Magmar, Weezing, Crobat, Magcargo, Sandslash, Mightyena. Weezing definitely wants to be thrown in here somewhere, doesn't it? Weezing, Shiftry, Golem, Zangoose, Houndoom, Cacturn, Murkrow, Castform, Claydol, Ninetales. It's funny, he's like, needs more fire. Give it fire. Too much fire, gonna be weak. Instead of Golem, you could also do Magcargo, and I do think Magcargo achieves the same thing, but would be a little better. Roselia for Courtney. I will allow it. Thank you, Arbok. Okay, guys, this is all I really wanted to do is just get an idea, get a very, very base concept, right? This is not final. But just some very, very simple like ideas crafted just so that we got the ball rolling now and we can like start to work out from here. I am a believer in Magcargo Water Absorb. Here's the thing. I'm just going to say it. This was why it works. This is what someone told me. Magcargo is like as hot as the sun, okay? So you hit Magcargo with a water move, and it's so hot that is just turning into rock. And Magcargo is rock. So you hit Magcargo with a water move, and it just becomes more Magcargo. Like, it actually makes sense. Magma armor does nothing but prevent freeze, and that's terrible, so that is why we don't like that. No, it works. It works. And it makes Magcargo maybe not suck. Chat, this has been a lot of fun. I'm just going to wrap up some super chats, and we're going to call it. So Wordness says Sneasel doesn't fit the vibe for Archie. I feel like Machamp or Mightyena feels better for his feel. Yeah, I think a lot of people aren't really loving the Sneasel on Archie. It's also not that great, and we're going to give Glacia a Sneasel. So I'm fine with that. But I do like Machamp. Let's just toss that on there. 427 Arbok. Don't want to derail too much, but I feel like someone should ask the Zinnia question since Oras might want her. Thought about her because of the Absol discussion, as she'd be a perfect fit for it if I remember her story right. Yeah, I we don't want to make this just Oras, but of course we have to consider the Zinnia question. So thank you, Arbok. Kefir says Cacturn should replace Electabuzz or Sneasel. I don't understand why Archie would have a cactus. But thank you for the donation. Rain Setter Electrode for Matt, since no cast form. Yeah, I could certainly... Let's do Seviper or Electrode here as well, maybe. Maybe Shelly gets Seviper, Admin gets... Matt gets Electrode? Maybe? Tidry... Oh yeah, Claydol. We added Claydol, and I do kind of like Courtney with possibly Roselia. Again, I do feel like all of Team Magma, even if Grass doesn't fit the vibe of Magma, like they just need it or they get destroyed. I deleted Seviper on both, did I? I am a silly boy. Thank you. Yeah, because then you have Castform as a rain setter and Electrode as a rain setter, so that's cool. All right. I love how Swampert is a looming threat that we all have to work around. Yeah, it's pretty rough. Shellgong could be cool, but anyway. Yeah, and people say, like, it's weird that Magma likes ground, but, like, Magma is ground. So, like, just so we're clear, Magma is, like, lava when it's underground. Like, lava is flowing on the Earth's surface, and Magma is underneath the crust. So, Magma is just kind of like the hot ground team. Yeah. At least I think that's what it is. I might be wrong. I don't know anything. Anyway, chat. We're going to call it there. This has been fun. I think we've made a lot of good progress today. A lot of nice brainstorming for these two teams that need a lot of work. Shout out to Replay Gang. If you've made it all the way through, I want you to comment. Credit Gang. Say Credit Gang. Not just Replay Gang. Credit Gang. You made it all the way through to the credits. So much love. Thank you. Thank you for all the super chats. Thank you for all the comments, suggestions. Pushback is always appreciated, even if I sometimes sound annoyed. It's very important. And yeah, see you later.